Quick truth about your API: it's a door into your whole system, and most doors ship wide open. Leave it unprotected, and attackers, really, anyone, can walk right in and do whatever they want with your user data, your payments, the whole thing. So in this video, we'll walk through 7 proven techniques to protect your APIs. 7 guards. Miss one and the other 6 don't matter. Let's lock every door. Here's the whole plan on one screen. 7 ways in, and the 7 ways to shut each one. Rate limiting, CSRF Injection, Firewall, VPN, CSRF, and XSS. Don't worry about the names yet. We'll take them one at a time, the attack first, then the guard that stops it. First on the list, rate limiting. It controls how many requests a single client can make in a given time. Think of it as a turnstile in front of your API. Say you let user A make 100 requests per minute. Up to that limit, every request flows straight through to your API. That number, 100 per minute, is the cap you set on the turnstile. The moment they send request 101, you block it and make them wait before the next one goes through. And you can set these limits per endpoint. A strict cap on, say, your comments endpoint, or per user or per IP address. 100 requests get through, the 101st waits. No single client can flood you or brute force your data. But here's the catch. One attacker on one IP hits your per IP limit and gets blocked. Easy. So instead, they spin up 1,000 bots, each with its own IP address, each staying just under your 100 limit. Individually, none of them trips the per IP cap, but together, that's a flood your server was never meant to handle. That's a DDoS. That's why you also set an overall global rate limit, a much bigger number, measured across all traffic combined. When total traffic crosses that line, you temporarily block everything while you find the root cause. And these numbers are just examples. In reality, they're far higher. So that's how much and how often. That handles the flood. But it doesn't answer a different question: who is even allowed to knock on your door? That's our next guard. Number 2 is CORS, Cross-Origin Resource Sharing. It controls which website is allowed to call your API from a browser. If your API is only meant to serve your own front-end at app.yourdomain.com, then a request from that origin passes the check and reaches the API. Same origin, same team allowed. Now some other site, otherdomain.com, tries to call your API from a user's browser. Wrong origin. CORS turns it away at the door, so a malicious website can't quietly use your API on your user's behalf. Only your own domain may call the API from a browser. Every other site gets blocked. Number 3 is a classic: SQL and NoSQL Injection. These happen when user input gets dropped straight into a database query. Watch, an attacker types something clever into an input field here, a quote, then or1 equals 1. If you build your query by gluing that text in directly, look what it becomes: a condition that's always true. That one line bypasses your checks entirely. Now they can read your data, modify it, or delete every user and every other table you've got. The fix is simple: always use parameterized queries or an ORM safeguard. The input goes into a placeholder, it stays data, it never becomes code. Concatenate input into a query, and it turns into code. Parameterize it, and it stays harmless data. So the input is handled. Nothing malicious gets to run inside your queries. But wouldn't it be better to filter the obviously bad traffic before it ever reaches your API at all? That's our next guard. Number 4, firewalls. A firewall acts as a gatekeeper, sitting between the incoming traffic and your API. A normal request comes in, looks clean, and passes straight through to your API. Now a suspicious request shows up, carrying strange SQL keywords or a weird HTTP method. A firewall like AWS Web Application Firewall recognizes that attack pattern and blocks it before it ever reaches your API. Known attack patterns never reach the door. Normal traffic sails through. Number 5, VPNs, Virtual Private Networks. Some APIs are private and should only be reachable from a specific network. A public-facing API is fine to reach from the open web. That's exactly what it's for. But put an internal API inside a VPN, and a user out on the web who tries to reach it gets blocked. They're not on the network. An employee connected to that same VPN, though, is inside the network, so their request goes right through. That's how internal tools stay internal. Think of an admin dashboard. Its API is only reachable by employees on the company VPN, everyone else bounces. So far we've locked down the outside. How much, which origin, clean input, filtered traffic, private networks. But what if the attack doesn't come from outside? What if it rides in on a request your system already trusts? Meet the last two. Number 6 is CSRF, cross-site request forgery. Picture yourself logged into your bank, and the bank uses a cookie to remember you. Now a malicious site loads in another tab, hiding a request that says transfer money. Because your browser automatically attaches your bank cookie, that hidden request rides in on your logged-in session. If the bank only checks for a valid cookie, the transfer goes through, and you never clicked a thing. So banks add a CSRF token alongside the cookie, a secret value the malicious site has no way to guess. No matching token, request blocked. Your real app does send the correct token, so your genuine request sails right through. A cookie alone is forgeable. Pair it with a CSRF token the attacker can't guess, and only your real app gets in. And number 7, XSS, cross-site scripting. This one attacks your other users. Say you've got a comment section. Instead of nice picture, an attacker submits a comment that's actually a script. Your API takes it, and if you don't sanitize it, stores that script straight in your database. Later, when other users load the comments, that script gets sent to their browsers and runs, stealing their cookies or worse. The fix: escape and sanitize the output. The script gets rendered as plain, harmless text instead of running as code. Never trust stored input. Escape it on the way out, and a script becomes text, not code in someone else's browser. Let's put all 7 on one screen. Flood, rate limiting. Wrong origin, CORS. Bad input, parameterized queries. Attack patterns, a firewall. Public exposure, a VPN, forged requests, CSRF tokens. Injected scripts, escaping and sanitizing. Pause and screenshot this, and save it to your system design playlist. This one screen is your API security checklist. Run it against every service you ship. So there they are, 7 doors, and the 7 guards that lock them. Rate limiting, CORS, injection, firewall, VPN, CSRF, and XSS. Skip any one and the rest won't save you. But every one of these assumes you already know who is knocking. That's authentication, sessions, JWTs, and OAuth, and it's the next video. Before you go, be honest. Which of these 7 have you actually skipped in a real project? Drop the number in the comments and I'll deep dive the most voted. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.